Well, first of all, I'll just start out with a little bit of history. The cave was first discovered in 1845. John Moore and his two sons were in the area prospecting for lead, or galena. This is a good example of what they were looking for. If you want to pass it back, it's heavy, isn't it? That's pretty much the only lead you're going to find in this cave, because they didn't find any in here. And that wasn't found here. That was probably from Mexico. But it does have some mineral deposits in it that onyx has. In fact, there is a lot of onyx mining history in the Ozarks, but really there's no onyx within 100 miles from here. Back in the 1800s, early 1900s, no one really knew any different. It wasn't that big of a deal. We're just more particular in our geology these days. Anyway, it worked for them. They would take it by wagon to Eureka Springs and they would carve little figurines about $2 for it. Doesn't seem like a lot, but today that's a $100 bill, so not bad for a rock. The last thousands of years, those formations wouldn't be in such good form. Plus, I'm down here every day, so we're sticking with it's inactive, okay? Just saying. Now, our lakes are actually spring-fed. We're part of the aquifer, so it doesn't end up at the chicken farm. He's got a spring-fed pond, and that's where it goes to. So it doesn't end there. There was no cave here. It was just a crack in the earth. Now, when it rains, the water comes down. It goes through the earth, and as it's going through the earth, it collects different minerals. It also collects carbon dioxide from all the decaying plants and animals over the years. Well, when water and carbon dioxide mix, it becomes carbonic acid. Does anyone here drink carbonic acid? It gets to that state, finds the crack, sits in the crack, and very slowly, gradually over the years eats through, creating a cave. I'm going to give you a total average guesstimate of about an inch every 100 years. So if you ask me how old the cave, what these formations are called?
Something like that.
Close. Stalactites. Yep. Now the ones coming up from below.
Stalagmite.
You got it. A good way to remember that is stalactites hold tight to the ceiling. Stalagmites might reach the top, or you might trip over them. I've tripped over a few. I'm not known for my grace. Now, do you know what they're called when the two meet and become one? It's not a marriage. It's a column. It's close up. Anyway, this one we call the frozen Milky Way. Not just because it looks milky, but because you can sometimes tell by the coloring of a formation what mineral it consists the most of. This is obviously mostly calcium, or calcite. Now the gray flowstone up here, that consists of mostly iron. And yes, the black flowstone here, that's not natural, that's smoke damage. Now most flowstone will have beautiful cave draperies hanging off the bottom, kind of like these, but not broke. And they laugh. All right. There is a room up here though. This is our gypsum room. It's about 30 feet long and it's full of gypsum. I've heard it's cool, seen pictures, looks cool, but from the stories I've heard, I don't know if I'll ever venture up there. One of the stories is, one of our previous owners, we've had many owners as you can probably imagine, the owner in 1964 wanted to make this room part of his tour. Makes sense. He was going to make a bigger opening and build a stairway up to it. Well, he only chiseled away for about a day and a half. And there is another story, since there's no kids on our tour. We have a previous guide. I never met her, but I heard through the grapevine. She looked up there one day with her flashlight and saw a bearded guy looking back at her. Yeah, good down here. Fingernail, the intestines, and of course our sacrificial brain. And we call it the sacrificial brain because this is the formation we've sacrificed so that everyone can touch it and know what a formation feels like. Now, as you'll notice, it's all black and discolored where everyone's been touching it. That's exactly why we're not supposed to touch formations. The oils from our skin will stay on the formation and it kills it. To touch it. Really just feels like a wet rock. So they really have it pretty easy other than being blind. The worst thing we got to worry about is them straying away too far from the water and not finding their way back. But do y'all really think they're bottomless?
No.
No. There's a bottom somewhere. We just haven't found it yet. Now, he did have some professional cave divers go down there in 1996. In fact, when they were down there, they got some pretty good footage. So if you ever see Ozark's Legacy and Legends, it's an IMAX film that plays in Branson. All of their underwater cave footage is from our lakes. Kind of cool. Anyway, they went down. All right, here are some beautiful cave draperies that you can see. Not too shabby. This actually reminds me of Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. Makes me wonder if that's where they get their inspiration, caves. You want the light on it or off?
On.
Now
The
this.
shadow, it looks like a cat sitting up there, sleeping.
Aww, look at that. Now this is pretty cool down here. A little bit of history. It's been a few hundred years since it happened. We could tell because of the formations that are growing from where Hugging Rock fell from. And I've been told that 2 men can safely stand on that ledge right there. I said, I will take your word for it. And then that could be a Jew, but that looks a little more alien. And in a picture, this looks like a really creepy face coming out of the rock. And then, of course, we have a zombie or a dude coming out of the rock. And then we also have ghosts and ghouls coming out of the flowstone here. And every ghost room needs a coffin.
Yeah.
That was a big fella. Now, at the top of this flowstone, before 1993, there used to be airflow coming through up there that sounded like moaning sounds. It sometimes even sounded like voices coming through. So with that whole combination, it becomes the ghost room. Now, I say before 93 because before 93, this was the end of the cave. It didn't go any further. Okay. No falling or hitting your head on my tour, okay?
Right? Should have been explained earlier.
All right, so those you don't normally see, because in human history, I mean, humans would have messed that up so bad that they wouldn't have even grown there, or they would have torn that off and taken it home because it's cool looking. That's a halictite. Halictites, basically the water and gravity just kind of go crazy in direction until they start looking like Cheetos. Yeah, like I said, food. And we also have a cave mouse hanging by his tail. Poor little fella. And then we've got corkscrew soda straws. That's something you don't see very often either, because again, that's something someone would have torn off, taken home. Because really, that would make a really cool Christmas ornament. And we've got Harry Potter's wand over here. I didn't name that one, it's not food or any. Caver's Dream. Bless his property got a lot bigger. Oh.
I can imagine.
This mud feels like peanut butter. And we provide the helmet and the headlamp and the gloves. And you're in there for about 2 to 3 hours. And it's only $50 a person, which is very reasonable compared to other wild. That's what a cave is supposed to look like. And you see that really tall, skinny soda straw right there? That is the tallest standing soda straw in the Ozarks. It's 9 feet tall. Now, soda straws are pretty fragile. They break off pretty easy naturally in floods and stuff like that. So it's pretty uncommon when you see one grow all the way down to the surface like that, especially that far. This one grew all the way down to the surface and then a few inches broke off the top. So it's freestanding there, 9 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, if you look real close, you can see it sway just a little bit. So I wouldn't go close to that one because you don't want to be that guy. Just saying. Here's our cave rat.
Oh.
Or some kids think it looks like a dinosaur or a lizard. Now, does anyone have a guess as to how far underground we are right now? No guesses? All right. We are 350 feet below the surface. Not because we went down that far, because we really only went down like 60 feet, but we went underneath the mountain. So what you're looking at right now is the inside of the mountain. Kind of cool when you look at it that way. So the wild cave tour, you're touring the inside of a mountain. Kind of cool. Everyone take your time. Like I said, no hurry. Please just be careful. This is the Buddha room. Like I said, perception, okay? Work with me here. These are the Buddhas. There and there. Okay? Yeah. I know. It took me a while. That one looks more like a cluster of chocolate covered peanuts to me. But anyway, if it were up to me, I would call it the Santa Claus room. Because we got Santa Claus right over here. Not so much with my light on, but when I take my light off, you got Santa Claus right there. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Right with somebody right there. Whew. Santa.
All we need is a fan.
Now, or you can call it the bacon room, because we got a ton of bacon in here. Look at all this bacon up here, isn't that great? And this perfect slice of bacon, right? There.
Let's go look at it.
Straight into the hole. That was their stairs. Think ours are bad. Now, after it was Moore's Cave, it became Bear Cave. Because if you look real close, you can see bear claw marks on the wall there. Those